late.
Problem.
You know how work goes. It's very
Yes.
unpredictable and stuff like that. So my sincerest apologies.
Not at
Adele,
all.
how are you?
I'm very well, and you?
Very good, very good. Any announcements from your side?
No, nothing from my side.
Okay. Okay, then if there is no announcements from your side, then I guess I can start. Thank you, Adele.
Pleasure, Owen.
Okay, have a good evening.
You too.
Thank you. Students, good evening. We are going to continue with some skills for law students tonight. So I'm going to access my notes quickly. Um, so students, is Angelina online? Is Nadia Koopman online? And let me just see who else quickly. Nadia, um, can we have a session from 7:30 to 8:30 tomorrow morning? Nadia, just confirm with me quickly. Can we have a session from 7:30 to 8:30 tomorrow morning? Just indicate quickly in the chat function. How? Okay. Does that work for you? Okay, Nadia. Michelle, um, did you book a session with me? Michelle,
Hello,
did you
advocate.
book it?
No,
Hi.
no, I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't
So
book a
you don't
follow-up
need.
session.
So you
No, I
don't
think
need
I'm
any
okay.
follow-ups.
No, thanks.
Okay. Um. Queen, is Queen on the chat? Let me
Hi,
just.
advocate.
Queen, do you need a session with me tomorrow?
Yes, I do, please.
Can we do from 1 till 2?
It's fine.
Okay.
Are we not
So
having a session from 1 o'clock? Oh,
hold on. Let me check.
let me check.
Um.
Tomorrow
My
is from
session starts from 1 till 3. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Hold on. 1 till 3. I'm free between 11 and 12. Can we do
Are you
our
not
session?
are you not doing PVL tomorrow?
Hold on. PVL I'm doing tomorrow from 9 till 1. Okay. 2 till 4. No. 2 till 4. Um,
From
two
one
till
to
four.
to three, it's
Yeah.
SCL.
Yes, 1 to 3 it's SCL. Okay. Then then I'm free between 2 and 3.
Yes, we can do it the time.
Hold on, hold on. I think I'm double booked.
Yeah,
Then
you
from
are.
1 till 3, no, from 1 till 3 I have ILW. Okay.
Yes.
And then I start at 5 again.
Until
Okay.
7 for SCL.
Yes. So we can, if 1 till 3, then we can do 3 till 4.
It's fine, advocate.
Okay. So come
Yes.
online. Um, 3 till 4 will be your slot. Ne?
All right.
Okay,
Thank you.
so what you do is you get everything ready. You want to ask me everything that is unclear. We will have about an hour together with each other.
Thank you, Advocate.
Ne? Okay,
Yes.
thanks. Cool.
Thank you.
Okay, pleasure. Students, then any other questions before I start? Any other questions before I start? Okay, if there's no questions, then let me just access my notes and then I will tell you where to go to. Hmm? Okay, give me 1 minute. Students, I'm just accessing my notes. Okay, we're doing SCL tonight. SCL study guide. Okay, and we have to start with learning unit 5. So let me see what is important by learning unit 5. Okay. Okay, I don't think I'm gonna go through learning unit 5. Okay, so let me just see where to go back to because I'm only going to work on numeracy skills tomorrow. Okay, so let me just see what is problematic. Students, are there anything you want me to lay emphasis on tonight? Anything you want me to look at so that we can clarify any questions or problems? Anything you want me to look at?
Hi, Advocate.
Michelle.
It's Michelle. Yes.
Okay.
I just wanted to ask, when you're looking at an application procedure, it says ex parte. Now, the ex parte part means that there is only one person involved. Let's get it
And
clear.
the
Yes.
application is in the name of that person, in the name
Okay.
of that particular person. So
Right.
let's say, let me make an example. When I brought application to the High Court for my admission as an advocate, okay,
Yes.
my application was ex parte claimants.
Okay. And if there
Okay.
was someone that, and so if there was someone that objected to your application,
Yes. Now
what
remember,
would it be then?
hold on.
Okay.
That Michelle, that is actually a very good question. Okay. So let me make the example for admission as an advocate or an attorney. Let me use that example. So Michelle, in terms of process, okay, your application must be served on various parties. Okay, so if you, let's say like me, and I'm going to use the past situation. Okay,
Okay.
so let's say with me, okay, as part of my application, okay, I have to, the rule is for a period of 6 weeks, okay, your application must lie open, meaning open, it's available for perusal by any interested party, open at the Bar Council, okay? So one of the criteria of being appointed is that you need to be fit and proper, okay? So the reason why your application lies open is for any interested party to peruse your application, and if necessary, if they have grounds, object to it. Okay, so they will either lodge the objection with the Bar Council, okay, or either file an application at court as an intervening party to object. So the day of your admission, okay, if they are approved as an intervening party, they can come and object, but they need to file papers.
Okay, so it never becomes, say for example, I'm the person objecting to your application. Will it read Kleinhans versus Forbes? No.
No, no.
So it will never, it doesn't change from application to an action.
In the,
no.
no, it will still be in the ex parte application Owen Kleinhans.
Okay.
It will remain the same. Okay, but it's possible to object. Yes.
Possible to object.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That makes sense. I thought it then changes from an application to an action because now there's a respondent.
No,
so
it
that's
doesn't
not the
change.
case. Okay.
Doesn't change.
Thanks very much.
Okay. Any other questions from your side? Okay. Here's a question from Nadia. Let's just see. And Nadia, okay, no, there's no question from Nadia. Okay. People, any other questions? Okay, I think tonight I will just look at questions from people. Okay, so tonight is your opportunity to engage with me in terms of questions. So ask me the questions now. I have 11 people on the group. You either put your question into the chat function or you raise your hand and you ask me the question. Okay. The only questions you don't ask me is related to numeracy. You can ask me questions related to apportionment of damages. Okay, the theoretical part. All calculations we will deal with tomorrow. Okay. So any questions except for numeracy, but it includes apportionment of damages. So look through your notes, look through the aspects you have problems with, and ask me those questions now. Okay, I am not going to accept the fact that people don't have questions. Okay, I was a summa cum laude student. Okay, I got A pluses for everything, and I was the person with the most questions. So you cannot tell me that you have no questions. So look at what you have. Either put your question into the chat function or put it or ask me the question. Nadia, I think I answered that question. Your application must lay open, okay, for anyone to be able to object. Yes, your question, your application must lay open. Okay, come ask me those questions, people. Students, it's Friday night. I had a hectic week in terms of these classes, in terms of work commitments. I have a child that is busy writing exams. I'm sitting with her as well. After this class, I must go sit with her as well. She's writing accounting on Monday. So if you guys don't have questions, then I can conclude the session, okay? I tried looking for a criminal case regarding Alan Pakis. The Alan Pakis case was never at the Weinberg Magistrates Court. Okay. Joy, Magistrates Court cases are not on SAFLI, okay, because Magistrates Court cases are not reportable. You cannot report a Magistrates Court case, okay? A Magistrates Court is a creature of statute. It does not create precedent, Joy. Okay, so in my understanding, the Alan Pakis case was before the Western Cape High Court. Okay, go look properly. Do you have a question related to the Alan Pakis case?
Hi, advocate. No, I didn't have a specific question. I was just trying to choose sort of random cases that made news and then just follow up according to sources of law and the what we did in
So Joy,
law
please
reports.
understand. Let me stop you there quickly. Please
Okay.
understand the following. Okay, you cannot go look for a judgment from the Magistrates Court. Okay, Magistrates Court are firstly creatures of statute. They don't have inherent jurisdiction. So it means their judgment do not create judicial precedent. So you cannot go search on any law website for a magistrate's court judgment. Okay? Only judgments of superior courts are reported. Why? Because they are creatures of statute. They have inherent jurisdiction. Okay, so please keep that in mind from now until you retire as a lawyer one day. Okay, now you can continue with your question or your comment. Joy, you can continue. Are you done?
Yes, thank you. I got that.
Okay, any other clarity you need?
From me
Joy?
specifically?
Yeah,
No, advocate.
you. So you've just been searching the law websites for case law.
So for basically for criminal reports, I wanted to see if, in my understanding, in terms of if I needed to research a case, where would I go? How would I go about doing that? Maybe I just took the wrong one. Because when you go on Safely, then all the court cases that
No.
was.
So
So in other words,
you
how do I
need to
start?
search. Listen to me. You need to
Okay.
search specific law reports. Okay, either the criminal law reports, the Butterworth's criminal law reports, South African law reports. You need to be specific about the title or the name of the law report. Okay, or if you specifically want to search, and what I would advise firstly is that you go search constitutional law cases. Okay, so go to the website of the Constitutional Court, okay, and try to read some of their judgments. Okay, before
Thank
you
you.
go on to the more complicated ones.
No problem. Thanks.
Okay, ma'am. Enjoy. Um, Michelle, Jutastat is very good. I use this one. Yes, Michelle. Nadia, can advocate go through the difference between criminal proceedings and civil proceedings, deductive reasoning, inductive reasoning, with example not from the textbook? Okay, that's a tall order, Nadia. Okay. So, Nadia, do you want me specifically, okay, Nadia, do you want me specifically to relate deductive reasoning and inductive reasoning to civil and criminal proceedings, or must I firstly go through the difference between civil and criminal, and then after that, inductive and deductive reasoning? Okay, just be a bit more specific. Okay, I've noted Nadia's questions. Are there any other questions? Any other questions? We are the A students. We are my A candidates. Okay, you are the people who must ask me questions. Um, okay, Nadia. Denzel, where's your questions? Queen, where's your questions? Lindalani, Pandalani, are you new? Okay, Perez, where's your questions? Nadia?
Is it advocate?
Yes.
For you can go through the criminal proceedings first, and then
Mhm.
go into deductive reasoning and inductive reasoning. I just want to
So,
see how the textbook and how advocate explains something from an actual real life case.
okay, so let me just get clarity. You still want me to explain the difference again between a civil and a criminal matter, and then after that, inductive and deductive
Yes.
reasoning.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Thanks, Nadia. I
Thank
got
you.
that. Students, besides Nadia's question, any other questions? Besides Nadia's question, any other questions? Let me just see. Just with a different example. Please, perhaps. Okay, Denzel, I'm taking note of that. So let's again go through the aspects of the difference between a criminal matter and a civil matter. So let me start asking you questions. Okay. Students, what is the purpose of private law? What is the purpose of private law? What is the purpose of private law? Or who can explain to me what we mean by the broader or wider interpretation of the law? What do we mean by the broader or wider interpretation of our law? What do we mean by the broader or wider interpretation of our law. Nadia, with your answer, go a bit more in detail. Okay. Now, when we look at law at a wider interpretation, remember the narrow interpretation of law speaks more of control, okay, over human behavior. But when we go to the narrow, the narrow interpretation speaks more of the control over human behavior. Okay? Joy, I'm going to look at your answer now. But when we go to the wider or broader interpretation, it relates more or it speaks more of regulating the relationship between private legal subjects or between private parties in order, as Perez said, to create harmony. Okay? But what happens if there is then a legal dispute between private parties? What happens then if there is a legal dispute between private parties? Students, what happens if there's a legal dispute between private parties? What will happen? Okay, Michelle, very, very good. The courts are there. Okay, the courts are there. And what must the courts find? I now need to choose my words carefully. What we know the function of our courts. We know the function of our courts is to solve legal disputes or to adjudicate legal disputes. Okay, but how must the court or what does the court use to navigate between our body of law and coming to adjudicate a dispute? Okay. What does the court use? Okay. The court is now faced with a legal dispute. Okay. On the one hand, the court must adjudicate. Okay. What does the court use to adjudicate this legal dispute? How does the court do it? Anyone? We know, Palisa, the court will use sources of law. Michelle, we know the court will use authoritative sources. That we know. Okay? But go a bit further. Okay? What does the court sit with? The court sits with our body of what? Our body of substantive law. Okay? And what does substantive law provide? Students? Perez, you on the right track. Help me out. Help your students out. Okay. So you are telling me now, okay? I'm telling you. On the one hand, the court sits with this body of substantive law, okay, which Perez refers to as the content of the law, okay, the meaning and content of the law, rights and obligations applicable. So the court sits with that, okay. Then the only response from Denzel is a remedy. Okay. So how does one get, if you sit with the content of the law, how do you ultimately get to the remedy? And look at it from the viewpoint of the court. How do you ultimately get to the remedy? Hmm? How do you ultimately get to the remedy? We know, Michelle, we apply the content of the law to the legal problem. Okay? We know we do that. But how do we get to the solution? How do we get to the solution? Hmm? Guys, come on. Guys, come on. How do we get to the solution? Michelle doesn't know. Guys, come on. It's simple. Okay? Who is going Perez? I'm disappointed. Denzel, I'm disappointed. Queen, I'm disappointed. You guys are on the eve of the exams, and this is something basic, something simple. I'm not going to lose my cool with you guys tonight, okay? Because this is so simple. Joy, you on the right track. It would have to be presented in court. How? 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 Joy is on the right track. Okay. Joy is on the right track. And Joy, thank you, Michelle. Sure, Michelle, thank you. Okay. So, what does procedural law provide for students? What does procedural law provide for? Can anyone tell me that? What does procedural law provide for? Come on, people. What does procedural law provide for? Thank you. Those laws regulating the procedures not only in litigation, okay, not only in litigation, but those laws providing for procedure in solving the entire legal dispute. Okay, that is what procedural law provides for. So procedural law provides for the implementation of substantive. And when we look at private law, okay, our procedural law provides for two different actions in private law, or it provides for two different legal processes in private law. Okay, it firstly provides for an action procedure, and it provides for an application procedure. Okay. Who can give me the legislation in South African law that provides for the implementation of procedural law? Who can tell me? Who can tell me? Who can tell me? Tell me what legislation, okay, what legislation in our legal system provides for the implementation of procedural law. Who can tell me? Who can tell me? Okay, Michelle, we're not talking criminal law. Remember, we're talking your private law. So I only want those laws relating to private law. Give me the legislation that provides for the implementation of our body of private substantive, of private substantive law. Okay, of private substantive law. Give me that body of law. Give me that body of law. Okay, the body of private law, sorry, the procedural law that that is the vehicle for the implementation of substantive private law. Okay, I want that legislation. I want that legislation. Okay, Joy is correct. The law of civil procedure is one of them. The law of civil procedure is one of them. The law of civil procedure is one of them. What else? What else? What else? Students, just give me 1 second. I just have to take a call quickly. Just give me 2 minutes. I have to take a call quickly.
Hi guys, I don't actually know what question I'm answering anymore. Can someone just give me the question again, please?
Michelle, what were you asking now? I heard you ask about some question. What were you asking now?
There are so many questions, and I'm typing in all the answers, but I forgot the question. So I asked someone
Okay.
to please repeat the
So,
question.
so my question was, I think you gave the correct answer with regard to the legislation for the implementation of procedural law, which is the law of civil procedure. Okay? There are two more pieces of legislation, okay, that concerns our procedural law. I want to know if you guys can give me that as well. You gave me one piece of legislation. I need at least two more pieces of legislation. Okay? The things we're doing now, okay? The things I'm doing now is that's going to set you apart from the other students. This is stuff or information that gives you A's. Okay? So what other legislation relates to that? What other legislation? Give me at least two more pieces of legislation, students. Two more pieces. Give me at least two more pieces of legislation. Give me at least two more pieces of legislation. Okay, let me see. Um, Paris, you are playing the guessing game with me now. Okay, I don't like guesses. You either give me a proper answer or you don't. Michelle, not the Constitution. Joy, we not even by subdivisions yet. We're still working on our two various actions in law. Okay, so let me give you the answers. Okay, students. This tells me a lot about your revision, eh? Someone gave me the law of civil procedure, which is correct. When Paris started the guessing game, Paris, it's the law of evidence. The law of evidence, okay? And then, thirdly, the magistrates court rules. The magistrates court rules, okay? And then the superior court rules, okay? So your legislation that puts our procedural law into action are our law of civil procedure, our law of evidence, our magistrates court rules, as well as our superior court rules. Okay? And all of these aspects of procedural law, okay, provides for two distinct actions. Students, it provides for two distinct actions in our private law. Okay? It provides for an action procedure and it provides for an application procedure. Okay? And in terms of when a matter becomes litigious, okay? When a matter becomes litigious, it means when it comes before court, okay? An action procedure, okay? The pleadings related to an action procedure in its beginning phase is your summons. Bless me, sorry for that. Is your summons with your particulars of claim. Okay, your second procedure is your application procedure, and this procedure is preceded by your notice of motion with your founding affidavit. Okay, now does that make sense to all of you students? Does that make sense to all of you students? Does that make sense to all of you students? Does that make sense to all of you? Okay. Now, Denzel, I think you were the one who volunteered this one. Explain to me what an action proceeding is. Explain to me what an action proceeding is. explain to me what an action proceeding is? Explain to me what an action proceeding is. Denzel, where are you? Hey, Denzel, what is absolution from the instance? Denzel, what is absolution from the instance? Not case dismissed, Denzel. Not case dismissed. That is no. Michelle, share your story quickly.
Okay, thank you. So my husband went to fetch my son and he forgot to take his driver's license with him because it's about 5 minutes away. And then he was stopped by cops who gave him a fine of 1,000 rand. And that was in the Bowville area. So he signed the notice and he took it. And then they said that he can go and have it reduced, but we couldn't in town. And we ended up going to the Para Municipal Court. But when we arrived there, the prosecutor, she squashed the 1,000 rand fine because she said that the officer wrote the wrong name of the area, which means that that court doesn't have jurisdiction. On the notice, instead of writing Bowville, she wrote Kales River. And so the court didn't send us to a different court. They just squashed the whole fine because of jurisdiction. So I was happy about that.
Michelle, what you explained now is in terms of criminal. Okay, that is something I will touch on tomorrow morning in
Oh, yes.
our revision.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, but thank you for sharing. So none of you also releasing obligations, consequences, or penalty freeing from blame. I'm going to disagree with you on that. On that, Paris, I will explain the concept to all of you tomorrow. Okay, guys. The following is happening on my side now. I'm on urgent court duty this weekend, so I just got notice that there's an urgent application to be brought at court. So I now need to get ready to go to court, engage with my judges, all of that. So unfortunately, I have to stop here for tonight. But remember, we're with each other tomorrow practically the entire day. If we had been face to face, I would have told you guys to bring lunch for tomorrow, but now that's not going to work. So, students, I will be online for, let me just give you the schedule. Tomorrow at 9 o'clock, okay, I will be online for law of persons from 9 till 1. Okay. After that, from 1 till 3, I will be online for ILW. And then from 5 till 7, I will be online for SCL again. We'll do some numeracy for about 45 minutes. And then after that, I'll touch on a few things of tonight and then just wrap it up. Okay. And then I have about 2 face-to-face sessions with people tomorrow. So students, I need to get ready to leave my house to go back to town now. Are there any questions before I conclude? Are there any questions before I conclude? Queen, no class on Sunday. I need to go to church. Nee? Queen, no class on Sunday. I need to go to church. But okay, let me make an assessment tomorrow. Queen, let me make an assessment tomorrow. See how we go. And then I might consider maybe having a few individual sessions on Sunday. So let me tell you tomorrow. Nee? Let me tell you tomorrow. Or I'll put information on the group. But I'll tell you guys tomorrow about Sunday. Nee? Students, thank you. We'll be online at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Okay? Have a good evening. Study well. And please, okay, let me not say please. Okay? Thank you, students. Good evening.